Hello YouTube and welcome to a new tutorial on Lordcraft. I'm here doing another one of these because things have changed a bit with the mod since last time and, well, the last ones were maybe not as concise as people would like. So, without further ado, let us begin. So, when you start up your world with Lordcraft in it, you'll notice when mining these things called simple crystal deposits. And when you mine them with an iron pickaxe or above, you'll find these simple crystals drop out of them. Now these are pretty useful in Warcraft, so you're going to need quite a lot of them. The ores spawn fairly commonly, fortunately, and it's affected by fortune, so if you have a decent fortune level, you get more of them. If we look at their uses for recipes, you'll see that there are some fairly normal recipes here, and then there's this one here, for example. Says it requires water research, and these other ones that require different researches as well. So what does this mean? Well, if I make a thing called a Book of Knowledge, which requires glowstone, redstone, book, which either means you need to go to the Nether, or you need to find a witch and get lucky with glowstone dropping, or you may have some other way of getting glowstone, I don't know. When I open the book, it presents me with a variety of options to pick. The one we're mostly interested in is this one here. The others are sort of information telling you, apart from this one, which I'll talk about later. But the research tab is the important one. Opening it reveals the research tree. In here we have these green researches, which I've only got one. You start with this one unlocked, and that means it's ones that are done. The red ones are ones I can't do, and the grey ones are ones which I can do. When starting in Lordcraft, the first thing you want to note is that these first ones here is your choice of element. Now, for a fair while in the game, you'll be locked into whichever one of these you pick until you do this research here. So this choice kind of does matter a little bit early on, but later on it doesn't. We're going to pick water for now because it's an easy one, and I've already prepared myself for it. So, selecting water will reveal us this new page, which is the researching page. So over here we have the option to go back, which cancels the research. Over here on the right we have a bunch of X's, which I will talk about in a moment. We have these dots, which you can click on and connect together fairly easily. They can only be connected to one location each, so that's a thing to note. And we have down here we have a button that has a letter on it, which is currently set to A. So the way research is done is you look through your menu in JEI. If you don't have JEI, there is a way around this. And you find these things called Inscription Tiles. You will need to have some of these in your inventory. So if I grab a bunch, I'm also going to grab this because it's quite important. You will need Inscription Tiles in your inventory. And you look at these, and you see that they have inscriptions on them, which is the letter you need to put in, and the tooltip tells you that this one corresponds to A. So I can draw a line from bottom to top, so it looks like this. I click it, and it confirms it, and it puts it through. If I put like the wrong thing in, it wouldn't work. So for example, if I put what is B here, it's not going to go through. However, on the right here, you'll notice that these X's have been replaced with the letters. Which means I've unlocked the letter. So I can either click on one of them, like so, or I can press the letter on my keyboard, which is a new feature added in the most recent version, which lets you just automatically fill in a letter you already know, which is quite helpful. The next letter in this one is Q, so I find that down here, which is 4 to the right, and 2 to the left. So I can do that. There we are, Q. Then we're going to find U, which is 2 to the right and 3 to the left. So that, and then A again. And that completes the research, which now means it's unlocked. So if you don't have JEI, you can pop down a thing called an Arcane Inscriber, which is fairly easy to craft. And you can pop Inscription Tiles into here, and it will show you all the letters, and you can even grab them out if you want, but that's not necessary for it. You'll also notice that I have less inscription tiles than I did before. That is because each time you type a letter in, it actually uses one up. So be aware that you will need to make quite a few of these, and the recipe isn't super cheap, but it's alright. So, now we have the water research complete. You're thinking, can we now craft our crystals? And the answer is probably not. As you can see, it doesn't work. The reason why is because this crafting table isn't quite good enough. We need to upgrade it by putting it with our Book of Knowledge to make an Arcane Workbench. You can also put the Book of Knowledge in there just by itself to make a thing called a Memory Eliminator, which actually removes your research, which for most people isn't worth using because then you have to redo all your research, which you don't really want to do, I'd imagine. But it has some uses, potentially. So the Arcane Workbench is a bit interesting. First of all, you can put items in it, like so, and it will actually stay in there when you close out. It does regular recipes as well, which is helpful. As you can see here, it also lets you do research-based recipes, so the damp crystals do actually work in here now. So I grab these other water buckets. We are going to make a bunch of damp crystals here. What we have, turn them all into damp crystals, since we can do that. And you may have noticed there are a bunch of tools over here, sorry. Water crystal pickaxe requires 2 sticks, 3 damp crystals. Water tools research. Okay, so let's see if I can make it. No. So this table does also respect the research requirement, which is water tools. I'm going to switch into creative mode, and in doing so I can just click on one of these to automatically do it without having to wait. And if I now open up the crafting table again, you'll see that it is now possible for me to craft this. So these crystal tools are kind of interesting. They actually have special properties, such as the water one. When I hold it, I get water breathing. And here I have a few others, which are to be noted. We've got ones for each element. So water breathing from water, earth. When I right click on the ground, will tell me what the highest value in a 3x3x3 area in front of me is. Which isn't super useful, however, it can be a little bit useful for finding diamonds hidden just behind the walls. There is a better version of this available via the earth tree, but it's just sort of a little helpful feature added to it. Fire tools are interesting, so that when you're mining a block with them, such as iron ore, it will automatically smelt the block when it's mined. Do we have anything else to demo it on? I guess I could demo on stone. That should automatically turn back into stone rather than turning into cobble. Yep, good. That's kind of similar to Silk Touch in that regard, but a little bit better, perhaps. And it will also set things on fire when you hit them with it. That'll work for any tools, not just the pickaxe. Then have the air sword, which gives you jump boost 2 and speed 2 when you're holding it out. Again, any tools of the air category will do this for you. You have the light tools, which give you haste 2, and when you right click with them, place down a thing called a glowing anomaly, which if I set the time to night, will actually emit light, so it can be broken instantly, so that's pretty good. And then the dark sword, or dark tools in general, give you haste 2 and night vision when holding it, so that's fairly useful. So yeah, those are the crystal tools. So the next thing we want to talk about, actually I can talk about the robes. So the robes, if I grab these, you can see that I wear them, pretty useful. And they actually give you different effects. So these ones actually give me more health when I wear them, which is quite helpful. And they also give me a mana discount, and a full set will give me an increased mana discount as well. So now we should probably talk about mana and the connected blocks to it. So, something that you need to power with mana, take this off actually, is called the Arcane Forge. Now this thing is used to do multiple recipes in it, such as the fabric required to make these robes. Now the Arcane Forge requires mana, which I already have because I didn't delete that from earlier. How helpful. So it's not the best arrow, but basically to get mana, pop down a void interface, which allows you to interface with your mana. As you can see, it already has an amount, but the way it works is you right-click on a void interface with a void with a siphon of whichever type you're using, and it will increase the capacity by 1,000. And then to fill that capacity, you just have to right-click on it with a crystal of your element, and it will fill it by that amount. So that is how you fill up a void interface. You can fill up more if you want, but that's how it goes. You can make it pretty much as big as you want, and it will store a decent amount of mana for you, which you'll be able to use for spellcasting and whatever else you need it for. And forge recipes as well. So this button here allows you to select which mana you've got, and it also actually initiates the craft if you can. I only have water mana, so I can't cycle through anything, and I can't initiate a craft with it because I don't have any ingredients in there. What I would like to do is grab myself some cobblestone, because this bottom slot here is actually a furnace. It doesn't require fuel, but it is very slow. So you can just dump stuff in there and have them process very slowly over time. So a recipe that the Arcane Forge has: 2 redstone makes 1 mana infused dust, which can also be crafted like that, but this is a cheaper recipe. Mana infused dust is used to make the forge in the first place. However, once you've got the forge, you can then make it more cheaply. So I pop the 2 dust in and I attempt to craft. I can't do it because I don't have the research. So that again respects research. So if I switch back into creative, yeah, we can do the research for the forge. Back to survival, and now if I click this, it will in fact start processing, and it will produce for me the mana infused dust. Like so. There we are. We have mana infused dust now. So that is how the forge works. Oh, now it's letting me cycle through mana. That's helpful. The reason why it wasn't letting me do that is because I didn't have the research, now I think about it. Not because I didn't have anything available. Yeah. So a thing you can craft with the forge is called the void eye. It requires gold ingot and a void interface. Again, it needs research. So it won't work unless I have the research for it. So let's do that. Research. Void eye, it's here. These do actually have like text you can read if you are interested in the lore somewhat. Once you've unlocked it, you can click on them to view that. So if I click on that, it will start crafting it for me and make a void eye. So the thing the void eye does is you right click with it anywhere and it will actually tell you how much mana you've got. So if you're out and about casting spells or whatever, you don't want to have to come back to your base to look at your void interface to see how much mana you've got. Also, your void interface doesn't need to actually be on the ground. Your mana is actually stored sort of remotely. The void interface is, as it is said, just an interface, so it lets you get into it and access, all of that. And the eye just lets you see it. So I made one there. So some materials that can be crafted in the forge are things like these mana infused ingots and these mana infused gems. It's crafted using mana infused shards and their respective item. The shards are just 2 dust. And they're used to make these armor sets here, which are reasonably good armor sets, the metal armor and the gem armor. The gem armor is slightly better than diamond, the metal armor is slightly better than iron, with increased durability and all of that. And overall, we're just reasonably useful things to have. So, another thing that's available are these items here, which require a new research, which is, where is it? Which research is it? It's this one here, equipment. Now for equipment, I believe I need to grab infused fabric, infused tools, probably staff. Yes, I need the first tier of staffs to get this. And equipment. I don't actually know what the tech stuff about that is, but we're just going through stuff. So equipment is pretty useful. Got some overlap there, I can fix that later on. It's alright. So equipment is pretty strange. So this thing, when held in my hand, gives me water breathing and night vision, which is quite useful. Yeah, so it lets you see underwater when you're holding it. You can obviously put it in your offhand, it will still work there. If the artifact of divining, which is the earth item, which tells you if I had the research for it, I would be able to use these. Let's switch into creator mode so I can actually do that, because you don't need to have research if you're in creator mode. It will tell me valuable materials in a further away distance, so it can be really helpful for mining. So you see I found some coal, stone, dirt, grass, gravel, iron, in fact, there. Where'd that go? Yeah, whatever. So that's useful for mining. These are quite cheap to make, actually. They just require crystals around that material. It's different for each one. Mainly stone, but that first one was sticks. Dense flame, which is the fire one, which requires strength 2 and fire resistance 4. It also lets you make a fire when you right click with it. There's the Windswept Stone, which just gives you haste 2, speed 2, and jump boost. So you hold it in your offhand and mine with your main hand. You have the Orb of Light, which gives you absorption, saturation, haste 2, and it lets you place these things. Then you have the Orb of Darkness, which gives you haste 2, absorption, and night vision. And that's about it. So they're kind of like upgraded versions of the tools that you can hold in your offhand when you're working. So you can use whatever tool you want, because the actual crystal tools aren't that great. They're kind of based around iron balancing. Some of them are close to diamond, but not quite. They all have benefits and drawbacks to them, so these things seek to make up for that by providing the same effect, but better, usually. As well as just being more useful. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the equipment and researching section. How much time have we done? 17 minutes. Right, I'm going to end it there, and I'm going to set up for the staffs and runestones, and probably also the questing system. We'll be back next time to do that. So see you guys then. Goodbye.